What's up guys, today I have some important news to share regarding the DJI Mini4 Pro and more specifically the 120 meters height limitation in Europe. As you guys might remember, when the Mini4 Pro came out, I put out a video regarding this 120 meters limitation in Europe, which is really concerning for many pilots, especially if you're flying in an area that has a lot of elevation. And in order to keep up with that elevation, you really need to go higher than 120 meters from your takeoff point. Well, DJI came out with a special message regarding this exact problem, and now there is some steps that you need to take if you want to permanently remove this 120 meter height limitation in Europe for the Mini4 Pro. Let's check it out. Keep in mind, this height limitation only applies for European customers and pilots from Europe. So if you're from Australia or Canada, USA, or any other country in the world besides Europe, you will be good to go. You won't have to worry about any of this. It's just something that concerns the countries in Europe. So first things first, if you want to remove this height limitation from your Mini4 Pro, you need to update to the latest firmware. The firmware for the Mini4 Pro is 0200 and the one for the remote controller is 0100. Make sure you update both of the devices to the latest firmware, and then you will have the ability to completely remove this height limitation from your Mini4 Pro. When you successfully update the firmware on both of your devices, the drone and the remote controller, make sure they're connected to each other, then go into the Fly application, hit Settings, and then make sure you're on the Safety tab and scroll all the way down, and then you will see a brand new feature called Request Higher Altitude Limit. When you press on this button, you will see a QR code popping up, which you will need to scan with the camera on your phone and then click the link that pops up. This will take you to DJI's website where you need to do a couple of steps. Unfortunately, this is not a very quick and painless process. It requires a couple of steps from you and a couple of things that you need to do, but it's completely worth it. And there's one more major reason why you need to do this as soon as possible, which I'll mention in just a few minutes. Keep in mind, during all of this, you need to be connected to the internet, so make sure you do it at home so you can avoid any problems. Here are the next couple of steps that you need to take if you want to completely remove this height limitation from the Mini4 Pro. After clicking on that QR code and checking out this page that pops up, you will need to remove the C0 label that is on the bottom of your drone. Now, I've already removed mine, but usually you can find it on the bottom of the drone. It's a small label that is something like a small sticker that you just need to remove. And then you need to take a photo of your drone without this sticker on it. You need to do it in a clear way that shows the serial number of your drone. So you need to remove the battery and take the photo from this angle so it shows that specific code right next to the CE label. And you need to upload both photos, the one with the sticker on and the one without a sticker on. Then you will see a new prompt with some terms and conditions which you have to agree with, and then you can click submit. After that, your data is successfully submitted to DJI and you will be approved in a matter of minutes. And then your height limitation for the Mini4 Pro will be removed. Then you will be able to access the maximum height, which is 500 meters on this drone. And of course, you still need to comply with regular rules and regulations, the ones that are applied in any country where you can fly your drone in. By doing this whole operation, you're pretty much removing the C0 label from the Mini4 Pro, which is a very liberal label for flying drones in Europe, and then you're putting it inside another flight category, which is the A1 category. So make sure you're aware what the rules and regulations are for flying a drone in the A1 category. And make sure you are happy with this decision. I personally think it's a must thing that you need to do if you're flying drones in Europe, but not everyone thinks the same way. So make sure you're aware what you're doing, and I would personally still advise you to do it. I'll put a link in the description showcasing the different flight categories for flying drones in Europe and what the specific rules and regulations are for each specific group. Now, there is something major that I want to mention, and that is that DJI will sell all of their Mini 3 Pros, Mini4 Pros, Mini 2, Mini 2 SE. All of these little drones will be sold by DJI after January 1st, 2024 with a permanent C0 label, which means that you probably won't have the chance to request this higher altitude limit, which we are doing right now in this video. So if you want to avoid that, I would personally advise you to buy a mini drone now and just request this higher altitude limit before January 1st, 2024, because after that you won't have the chance to do so. And all of these small drones under 250 grams will be restricted to 120 meters permanently. So this is what I wanted to share just as a follow-up video on my initial video which I posted about the height limit on the Mini4 Pro. I hope everything is clear. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me below. I'll try to help you out as much as possible. This is Mike from Drone Supremacy. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.